Hey guys, welcome back to Unbelievable English. Today, I'm going to be showing you a really cute, really fun game for young players called My First Stone Age. In My First Stone Age, we're going back in time. Here, I'll show you. We will be traveling around the village, going from place to place and collecting the resources we need to build our huts, like this one. And once we have the resources we need, a mammoth tusk, a fish, and a jar, we can put that hut in our village and finish one. The first player to have all three huts is going to be the winner. So, we're going to be going fishing. We're going to be making clay jars. We're going to be collecting mammoth tusks. And we're going to be picking berries. So let's take a closer look at the components. All right, guys, let's talk about the components for My First Stone Age. First of all, we've got our game board, which shows us all the places that the children in the Stone Age would go. We've got the village and the building site. We've got the playground, where our friend the puppy Guff lives. We've got the meadow where the mammoths grazed. We have the berry bushes near the forest. We have the clay pits. We have the mountain. We have the river. And we have the trading post. So those are the places that we're going to be going throughout the game. These are our huts that we will be trying to build. And of course, here are the resources that we're going to be using. Here are mammoth tusks, berries, pots or jars, arrowheads, fish, and our friend the puppy Guff. Now, Guff the puppy is actually a wild resource. So Guff can be a tusk, a berry, a jar, an arrowhead, or a fish. He can be anything that he needs to be. We have our forest tokens. And these are like dice. These are going to tell us where we're going to go. So when we flip one over, so I would move forward one. Or I would go see Guff in the playground. So the forest tokens, we're going to flip one over, and that will tell us where to go on the game board. Here are our player pieces. Really nice, big, chunky, fun pieces. Here is our personal village, and you'll see that there's a slot here so that when we build one of our huts, they can sit right in there in our village. And the first person to finish 3 huts is the winner. And our reminder so that we know what color we are. And those are all the components. Very straightforward. And let's see how we play. So, everybody starts the game at the construction site. I'm blue, Gugu is pink. And then when it's our turn, so I'll go first, we're simply going to turn over one of the forest tokens. I got a 4, so I'm going to go around the board 4. I'll go see Guff. I'll go to the meadow. I'll go to the forest. That's 1, 2, 3. And here's the last one. I'll go to the clay pit, and I will take one of the resources from the place that I go to. So I got a jar. I will put that by my player side, and that's it. It's Gugu's turn. You'll notice that I'm going to leave that forest token up. It can't be turned over again until somebody goes back to the construction site. When somebody goes back to the construction site, all of the forest tokens that are flipped up are going to get flipped back down, and then we can flip them over again. So it's Gugu's turn, and Gugu is going to choose this one. So she's going to go forward 1, and she's going to get A puppy for a puppy. And she can put that right back here like that. Now it's my turn again. And I'm going to turn over this, and I'm going to go forward 2. So I'll go 1 to the mountains, and then 2 to the river, and I'll get a fish. And now I've got a jar and a fish, and you'll notice this hut needs a jar, a fish, and a mammoth tusk to get built. So maybe I can try to build this one. Anyway, it's Gugu's turn, and Gugu's going to turn over, ooh, a mammoth tusk. So Gugu is going to go right to the meadow, and she's going to get a mammoth tusk. Now, if you go to a place and that place is empty, all of the resources have been taken, well, then you just don't get a resource. That's just the way it is. But if you go there and there is one, then you do get one. So Gugu got her mammoth tusk, and that makes it my turn again. I'm going to turn over the fish in the river, so I'm just going to stay right here, and I'll get another fish. And now maybe I can get this hut and build it. But first I have to go back to the construction site. So now it's Gugu's turn, and Gugu's going to turn over, ooh, the mountain, the arrowhead. So Gugu's going to go all the way to the mountain where she will collect an arrowhead. So Gugu has a mammoth tusk, an arrowhead, and a Guff the puppy. So maybe she can build this hut when she goes to the construction site. And this is very important. You can only build one hut at a time. So when you go to the construction site, you can only build one hut. So it's my turn, and I'm going to turn over the construction site. So I will go 1, 2, and I will first turn over all of these tokens, all these forest tokens, and then I can buy or I can build a hut. And I'm going to use my 2 fish, and they'll go back to the river to build this hut. I'll put it in my village, and now I am very close to winning the game. I only need 2 more huts to win. So that's the end of my turn, and it's Gugu's turn. And Gugu is going to, first we have to turn one of these over. So Gugu is going to turn over the jar. So Gugu goes back to the clay pits, and she's going to get a jar. And now she has 4 resources. She has a mammoth tusk, an arrowhead, a jar, and a Guff the puppy. It's my turn, and I will turn over a 2. So I will go 1, 2, and I'll go to the meadows where I'll get a mammoth tusk. It's Gugu's turn, and Gugu will go to the trading center. So she'll go to the trading post. So she'll go 1, 2, 3 to the trading post, and here you can trade as many things as you want, as long as you have the resources to do it. So she has 3 resources. She could trade all 3 for 3 here. But she's going to look at what's at the construction site, and she would like a berry. So she is going to trade her jar for a berry. And that's all she's going to do. That's the end of her turn, and it's my turn. And I have to think. Let's see. I have a mammoth tusk, and I have a jar. So I would like a berry too, actually. Or a fish. So let's turn this over. A 1. So I will go to the forest where I will pick berries from the berry bushes. And that's the end of my turn, and it's Gugu's turn. And Gugu thinks that maybe, yeah, that's the construction site. So Gugu will go to the construction site. She'll turn over all of the forest tokens. And now she's going to use her berry, her mammoth tusk, and her arrowhead, and she'll put those all back in the right places. And she'll build this hut in her personal village, like that. first player to build 3 huts is the winner. And that's how you play this game. That's the whole thing. All right, guys. The first person to 3 wins. Can't wait to see you back here at Unbelievable English.